It's a good chance to take a little moment to breathe. Yeah. I'm going to invite us to arrive. I've got some administrata to do in just a minute, but if you're willing to kind of put your feet on the floor and your seat, feel your seat in the seat. And take a good couple of big breaths. It's good to be in a circle with people on the same path. And now let's release some of the worries of the day or whatever's moving for you that maybe doesn't want to come into the room. And I'll let you look up and look down. Look over one shoulder and the other shoulder. Unclench your jaw. Find your doors and windows so your body knows it's safe. Hand on the heart. Let's look at this beautiful room of people. Thank you so much, friends. My name is Carrie Kopnick. I'm Reverend Carrie Kopnick, and I'm here at the Chaplaincy Institute as our community minister. And I'm so thankful for you all joining us today on this beautiful summer afternoon. As you probably know, ChI Talks is a monthly event that we explore the different facets of spirituality through an interfaith lens with our ChI community. The next meeting, I think, is on August 19th, and I hope it's going to be on the Divine Feminine. We'll see. We are recording our session today, so if you wish not to be on camera, you can turn your camera off and your image will not appear in the recording. It only appears when you speak, though. We'll have time at the end of our session today for questions, both about the topic or about the Chaplaincy Institute. And a quick note that Lisa is going to invite you to do some writing. So as I introduce today's session, if you want to go get something to write with and some paper, that might be a good time to do that. So the Chaplaincy Institute is both a seminary and a community. Our seminary provides education for people who are seeking to serve in hospitals, in hospices, in disasters, prisons, corporations, the military. It's here for activists and for environmental contexts. We train spiritual leaders to serve as spiritual companions through our spiritual direction certificate program. And we have an emerging new certificate program called Sacred Justice Ministry that trains spiritual leaders and people in other helping roles to tend to the spiritual needs of our diverse justice movements, which is very important right now. As far as our community, we are the oldest and most respected interfaith seminary in the United States. Our ordination or faith group endorsement is recognized by the Association of Professional Chaplains, the Veterans Administration, the military. We also are here to offer a transfer of ordination for clergy who feel that their ministry has evolved beyond the faith that originally endorsed them, or who are seeking an interfaith ordination in alignment with their first ordination, so a transfer or a dual. If you'd like to have a conversation with me about becoming an interfaith chaplain, please reach out for a conversation. I'd love to sit down with you. My email is carrie@chaplaincyinstitute.org. I'll put it in the chat, but I'll also send you a follow-up email with the video. You can also connect with our Director of Admissions, Michelle Gantz, for a conversation about our seminary programs. We also invite you to explore our open courses with no application necessary. Later this week, when I send that follow-up email, it will have information about our next open house on August 5th. Appreciate you all being here today. And now I'm going to share a little bit more about today's speaker. Lisa Winston is one of our favorite faculty members. She is a spiritual director, an ordained interfaith chaplain, healer, a contemplative photographer, and is based in the San Francisco Bay Area. She is a graduate of Nine Gates Mystery School and holds professional memberships with Spiritual Directors International, the International End of Life Doula Association, and the International Association for Near-Death Studies. You can find out more about Lisa at her website, ljwdivinesite.com, and that'll be in the follow-up email today too. All right, thank you so much for being with us here today, Lisa. I'm so glad to turn things over to you.
Thank you, Carrie. Thank you so much. Thanks, everybody, for showing up today. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. I'm going to talk a little bit about retreats in general and my retreat specifically, and how you can go on retreat on your own. So I just want to kind of preface that. I'll also lead us in a little meditation, and that's why you'll need the paper to write some things afterwards for sharing in our group. So I just want to say that, oftentimes what I'm seeing these days, particularly online from shamanic practitioners and from astrologers and other retreat leaders, is that we are living in the worst of times and the best of times. Our world is upside down right now with so many systems collapsing. And our roles as spiritual directors, chaplains, therapists, ministers, anybody in the helping profession, we really need to support our own precious selves. And we need to support our imaginations, because we're the ones that will hopefully reveal the opportunities to others that they may not see. So one of the ways I find comfort and support and wisdom is through the elements of air, earth, fire, space, and water. And in the Agor tradition that I've been initiated into and is my primary faith tradition, it's out of India. The Divine Mother is the name we give to the highest, so that we have a form we can wrap our minds around. She is energy. She's the Shakti. She is consciousness. She is boundless and formless, and she is unconditional love. And I'm going to say she, they, and all of their many aspects are represented in the form of thousands of goddesses and gods and deities. Names you may be familiar with, like Kali, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, Parvati. There's quite the pantheon. And in other spiritual traditions, we've got the Divine Mother and Divine Feminine in Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, the Shekinah, and other goddesses, saints, sprites, fairies, and selkies. They're all welcome. Because I personally feel the Divine Mother closest when I'm in nature, I've created a sacred retreat with deep connections and deep connecting time in nature, both absorbing nature and being absorbed into nature in each element through ritual, creative time, meditation, silence, and giving back to the land. So what can a sacred retreat offer a spiritual seeker? To retreat is to step back, to step away from, to take refuge. And what specifically can being in nature and communing with the elements offer on retreat? So I'm going to say some words, and I want you to say whatever comes to mind. There's no right or wrong answer. Just say what element comes to mind when I say these words. Connection and support. What element comes to you when I say connection or support?
You want us to unmute and say it, or are we just
Sure,
thinking?
yeah, unmute and say it. There's no right or wrong answer. So if you're
Water.
comfortable. Okay. Anybody
Earth.
else? Earth.
Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Earth.
And how about release or cleansing?
Water.
Water.
Fire.
Renewal and healing.
Water.
Gratitude and joy. Air. Sid says air. Transformation and peace.
Water.
Space. Sid says space. So you can see you relate to the elements differently. So what I want to do now is lead us in a short meditation. And I'm going to walk us through our energy system, all the chakras. Everybody familiar with the chakra system? And at the end, I'll ask a couple of prompts, which is why you needed the paper and pen. And then we'll talk a little bit about it. I want to, share whatever you're willing to share. So go ahead and, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. I have to let my kitty go. He wants to be in the middle of everything. I put on a Zoom and a cat shows up. Go ahead and feel free to close your eyes or turn off your camera if that's more comfortable. And begin to settle into your chair, taking some good deep breaths. And we'll do a scan from the base chakra to the crown. And just feel at your base chakra. Feel your energy there. And then breathe into that space and notice if you're feeling grounded or stable or the opposite. This is where our survival instincts are activated, is in the base chakra. So this is where we ground and create stability. Say, this is the I am here. So now move up to the sacral chakra. Feel, maybe put your hand on your lower belly and just feel into the energy there. Maybe breathe into it. This is the center of our creativity, our sexual energy, our emotions. And just notice the energy there. Is it fluid? Is it stuck? Is it vibrating? And now move up to the solar plexus, to your belly. Again, if it helps, you put your hand on your belly. And breathe into that space. Notice how the energy feels there. This is where we connect with ourselves, with others, with community. This is our personal power. So think about what words come to mind to express the energy there. And even as you're thinking about elements, is there an element that feels at home in that space in this moment? So the three lower chakras, the base, the sacral, the solar plexus. Just notice the energy of those three together. You can identify one element, or maybe two, or maybe three. And just notice what's coming up for you. Now move up to the heart and take a good deep inhale into your heart. Maybe even imagine that a lotus is opening as you inhale into your heart. This is the seed of love, compassion, joy, contentment, empathy. And just notice the energy there. If there's a color or a vibration. Or if an element comes to mind in the heart. The heart being the connector between the lower chakras and the upper. Now move up to the throat chakra, our center of communication and authenticity. What does the energy feel like here? Is it fluid? Is it stuck? Is it vibrating? Is there a color? And notice if an element comes to mind in the throat chakra. Oftentimes, our sacral and throat chakras work in concert with each other in the creative mode, in the expressive mode. Now move up to the third eye in the center of your forehead. It's the center of intuition, imagination, vision. Maybe even breathe into the center of your forehead. Imagine it expanding. And notice the energy there. And whether an element might arise. Again, air, earth, fire, space, and water. And then up to the crown of our heads. This is our cosmic connection. The divine masculine and feminine sacred marriage. Notice the energy in your crown. Just feel into it and notice if there's any of the elements that might feel like they're a match for the energy of your crown today. So now imagine that your entire energy body It's all in alignment. The elements are all in alignment. They all live within us. The air that we breathe, the minerals in our body are the same minerals as Mother Earth. Our bodies are 85% water. The fire, the little mitochondria in every cell that fires up our energy body, allows us to be able to digest food. And then space, the space in our body between cells, the space between breath, the space between organs. All the elements of the cosmos live within us. So as you've got your body and all of the elements in alignment, I want you to come back gently to the room. Maybe reorient yourself as you open your eyes. And we'll take just a couple of minutes. Invite you to write down if there was one or two elements that seem to be more prominent in that meditation. Go ahead and write them down. And think about how they represent you in this moment. Think about the attributes of the element and how they represent you. And if they're not in alignment, what element would help balance them out? So in essence, we just took a little mini retreat into the elements in our bodies. So I'd love to hear from you, any of you who want to share. What element represents you today? Or what element needs to maybe come in to help offer some balance if you're feeling unbalanced? Are you feeling earthy today? Are you feeling watery, fiery? What are the attributes of those elements that are living in you today?
I'll share. I feel earth, like deep stone, deep down in the earth, and then reaching for that divine connection. And I think I'm yearning for water to help to make those things flow. So I don't know where fire is, but think about that tomorrow. Thank you. So that was beautiful.
Jacqueline.
So I was fortunate today to be in a yoga class where my yoga teacher was talking about the solar plexus and how we worked on that chakra today. And so that's in my mind today about how I felt that when she was teaching, and how I felt grounded. And in the balance poses, I felt balanced and strong and still and earthy. And then I was fortunate enough to swim today, where I felt grounded and combined with the water. And it was a lovely connection today. And so going from grounded to being open and free to move was really a lovely thing.
Beautiful. Perfect retreat day.
I'll
Amy.
share.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found a lot of earth in my lower chakras today, and it's a messy day for me. It felt heavy and earthy in that way. And then I felt a lot of fire in my upper chakras. I've been feeling agitated in my thoughts. It's a messy day, like I said. I also felt a yearning for water to kind of bring soothing and connection to everything.
Nice. Beautiful. I see Sid's in a water mode today. Anybody else?
I am conflicted. On one hand, I could feel grounded, but on the other hand, I feel restricted. I don't know which element that is. Not sure where I am. Yeah. I think restricted is the right feeling for me at this moment.
Hmm. And the others?
I'm just coming off of a retreat this last week that I was assisting in, which is a little different than actually attending a retreat as a guest. So I am feeling tired, and space and air was feeling most resonant. But starting at the lowest chakra was like, oh no, there's more here. If I had just been touching in with what the general feeling is, it would have been space and air. So it was really nice to connect with something deeper. And it just had a little anchoring quality to what was feeling, more open and airy. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. I see Sid has said in the chat, earth is grounding, yet I use my element of water to flow to prevent me from being stuck. There's also fire in my core. Yes. Well, I'm feeling air quite a bit in my heart and upper chakras. Mostly Air is in wind, a little bit of agitation, a little bit of nervousness. It's always a trip to be this vulnerable in this space for all of us. So, and I feel a little fiery too. So air and fire, that makes steam. Or air and water, fire and water makes steam. Before we move on, any other comments, any other elemental feelings? Okay, I'm going to share my screen just briefly. Can you all see this? 5 elements, symbols, aspects, deities, attributes. In the tradition that I follow, the 5 elements are very central to the teaching. And when we do a ritual at the altar, a puja, the symbols that we use for the ritual, for air, we use incense to symbolize earth. We have flowers. Fire is a ghee lamp, a lamp made of ghee. Space, we use a bell, we ring a bell, and water is water. And the aspects of each of the elements, air is breath, earth is body, fire is spirit, space is mind, and water is emotions. And then the deities, the goddesses, at least for the purpose of my retreat, Bhageshwari, who is another form of Saraswati. Bhageshwari symbolizes breath, life force, and in particular speech and the energy of speech. Where Lakshmi is about beauty and abundance. Kali, associated with fire, is about both destruction and renewal. Saraswati represents space in her. She's the goddess of knowledge, intelligence, but also of music and of silence. A lot of times these deities are both and opposites. And then water is represented by Parvati, who is the mother of Ganesh. Nurturing and healing are some of her attributes. So these are all forms, the Devis are all forms of the Divine Mother. As I said before, thousands of deities. And in May, this last May, I was delighted to host 5 ChI grads at retreat at my teacher's retreat retreat center up north of Mendocino called Upasana. And the word Upasana literally means to worship, to sit near, to attend to, in particular, the worship of or meditation on the formless, such as the absolute self or the holy. And our primary practice at the retreat center is Darshan, which is to experience and vision a lived understanding that all is one. All is the Divine Mother. So we don't just see a tree, we don't just see the ocean or the hummingbird or the blade of grass or the stars. We become them. We try to be them, to embody them. And it was interesting this morning, I just happened upon, I was checking in on Joanna Macy's, where she's at right now and her process of transitioning. And I watched an interview wherein she said, the greatest gift we can give our world is our full presence, and to be grounded in gratitude for the gift, the magic of being alive. And it just made me think about how present we were on this retreat with the trees and the ground, and how transformative it was. One of the attendees actually said it was a powerful, transcendent physical experience because we did ritual around the earth and the trees and the ocean and the stars and the fire. And another said that what a place, what a weekend, what a transformational time together. So grateful for the experience and the magic of the land. So I want to share with you, if you indulge me, a little 3-minute slideshow of some of what was experienced in May, and what I hope I can lead people through in September. Hey, I'm back. We're back. So that's a little taste of what the Upasana Hilltop Sanctuary looks like and feels like. It's a place I love to go. I've been up there half a dozen times now, and it's incredibly peaceful, and love taking people there. So I would say this as well, that there are many, many folks, graduates of ChI and teachers from ChI who hold wonderful retreats and welcome, anybody to take their retreats as well. And they invite us all to find ways to retreat every day. I have a practice that I started March of 2020 with the shutdown of COVID. And I take a 2 to 3 mile hike or a walk through the neighborhood pretty much every day, and a longer hike each week. And I usually have my iPhone with me and take some photos, but I'm not multitasking. I don't listen to music. I don't listen to iPod or, anything like that, or podcasts. I'm really like open and receptive when I walk. I might be saying my mantra, and I'm checking in with, okay, what are the felt senses? Well, how do my feet feel? How does this air in my skin feel? And then I kind of go through the emotions. What am I feeling today? And as I gradually walk through these 2 or 3 miles, the mantra's going. It's almost like I have a split screen in my brain. The mantra's going on one side, and then there's like I'm solving problems or having aha moments with the other side. So it's incredibly rejuvenating. I find that if I don't walk, that it's really, my day doesn't go as well. I used to say, when I posted every day on Facebook, I don't do Facebook anymore, but when I used to post on Facebook photographs, it would be like, beauty heals, nature heals, walking keeps me sane. And that was kind of my mantra through that time. So here's to taking mini retreats every day that we can to rejuvenate ourselves. And if we can take bigger, longer retreats, that's even more wonderful. The retreat that I run, and I'll be running one September 4th through 7th. So that's arrival on a Thursday, depart on a Sunday. It's about 4.5 hours, almost 5 hours north of San Francisco. So it's a little bit of a drive. And there are generally 2 to 3 people, residents, who live at the ashram on an ongoing basis. I don't always know who it's going to be, but that in May we had Stuart, Charlotte, and Andreas, and they basically are our hosts during that time, and they cook for us, and we take meals with them, and it's just really a sweet time to commune with the trees. We do a little forest bathing. We walk on the beach. We listen to the birds. It's so quiet up there that you can hear the crows' wings as they fly over you. The stars, the night sky is incredible. September 4th through 7th will be a full moon. So it's going to be a pretty special time up there. And we have room for between 5 and 7 folks. So if anybody's really seriously interested, I can tell you more, or I can send you details if you want to give me your email. So we have time for questions. Oh, thank you, Nigel. Bit confused with the title, coming closer. Putting a gender, I feel you create a view of many gods as opposed to the many sides of God. For me, I don't feel that God is male or female. Absolutely. God can be whatever God needs to be. So in my tradition that I follow, there are gods and goddesses, and Divine Mother is merely a name to wrap ourselves around. So there's no form, there really is no gender, and our minds can't necessarily grok the concept. So all the different traditions give it different names, whatever it is. Thanks, Nigel. He is on camera.
Yes, I want to actually come back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Simply because I feel that having many gods is going directly opposed to this concept of a full creator that has done everything. You're implying that there is a God that then says to any sub-god, shall we say. I want you to do that, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. So there's a whole family of gods, which you could say they're angels or whatever, but somehow for me, I don't know, I just like the idea of God being one rather than many.
This tradition actually is a one God and or one creator, one all, and all of the names and all of the deities and are merely, although, are representative of different aspects of the divine. So however that one divine exists, those are all the many aspects in this particular tradition, and it comes out of India. So India has lots and lots and lots of gods and goddesses, and they even each deity has multiple personalities, multiple aspects. It's like there's Kali can be very fierce, but there's also a very gentle Kali. So they're used as metaphors or representatives of what are the aspects within each of us, because we're divine. So what are all the aspects within each of us? It's kind of like having, the parts, IFS parts. Who's my Kali? Who's my Saraswati? Who do we identify with? Who? And they're just names, statues, aspects, attributes of the many.
That go against, in fact, the traditional Christian view that there is one God, that have no other gods before him, and he has no name, because he doesn't want to have a name. So this concept of actually, in many respects, putting him away from us, but we are part of him. It is very complex, and I have to admit I've been listening with rapt attention, but I've studied so many different religions that I feel that the Christian religion is, in effect, the one that's come to say this is the right one. But hey ho, there's many ways of actually getting to God.
The right one. Can you say more about that? What do you mean by that? The right one?
Is there a right? I mean, is there one right way of getting to God? You've been talking about there's many different facets of God, and you can give them different names. But is there one? I mean, when I meditate, when I am trying to go on a retreat, and I find myself actually just simply being or feeling I'm at one with God. I don't personally want to feel, well, it's that God or that God or that God. It's the one God. And that I mean, that's where I say I'm fascinated by what you've said, but it's just not what I've come to feel comfortable with.
Sure. It's not for everybody. It's a little elaborate. It's a little foreign even.
Agreed.
It gives, I think it's also saying that there are as many ways to be with God or the all or source or whatever you want to name it as there are individuals.
Okay, I'll just say one last thing, if I may, and that is one of the things that Jesus says is that the Father is in me, I am in the Father, and I am in you, which implies that actually God is within us.
Yep.
So that we can have that oneness with God by having him very close to us, within us, that spiritual side to us. So we have this body, which is worked by the mind, and we have our spirit, which is worked to the brain. So therefore we've got these three elements. And I do find that that oneness with God is something which is so special. I don't particularly, again, I just don't particularly want to feel that it's maybe that one over there or that one over there or this one here or whatever. It's just one.
One. Agreed. And the core of this tradition is actually that there is no separation between us and the divine, that we are divine, that the divine lives within us. All of the deities and all of the elements and all of those aspects and tools are from a very different culture, a culture that uses lots of very big epic stories about wars and gods and goddesses slaying demons to get to the point of how do we overcome our ego? How do we slay our inner demons? So it's all quite picturesque.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Absolutely fascinating. I'm looking forward to the next one.
I'm glad that you joined us, Nigel. Thank you.
Here at the Chaplaincy Institute, we do not teach any particular faith. We are here to learn and grow together, and all are welcome.
Oh, really? I never appreciated that. I never really appreciated that you're actually dealing with faith as a compound of everything. So thank you for that. I didn't appreciate it.
I put a little blurb in our chat that
I shall read it.
it's directly
It explains,
from our students' papers about explaining what the 5 different threads of interfaith that we teach here. Go ahead, Lisa.
Thank you.
And Nigel, I will tell you that I've studied through the mystery school and through the Chaplaincy Institute, all the major traditions, and spent quite a bit of time with a Kabbalah teachers studying esoteric Judaism. And this, where I landed with this particular teacher that I have now, my Indian teacher, he was the last person I warmed up to, the last tradition I warmed up to. But there's something about it's a guru-disciple relationship, but he's not in the business of making disciples. He's in the business of making gurus. So there's a lot of getting past your ego in the tradition that I follow. And it's one of
does that mean you say you're a guru?
I am. We all are. We all are. We all are. Our higher self is our inner guru. So, yeah.
Celia, I see your hand up.
Hello there. This is like a testimonial, right? I'm a graduate from the Chaplaincy Institute, as many of you are. I think Chaplaincy Institute is the only place in United States right now that actually teaches across all faith, including no faith at all. And that the atmosphere allow us to really explore. Because I tell you okay, presence is moment to moment.
Yep.
Whether I feel I'm connected to a divine or not is moment to moment.
Yep.
And I like the fluidity of it. I run away from certain kind of religion where they tell you this is the answer. And that is very restricting because universe is a mystery.
Yep.
We'll take a whole lifetime and still not get all the right answer. And I like the fact that we don't have all the right answer. As a practicing Zen Buddhist, we teach ourselves to go to ground zero. That means go back to the unknowing place.
Yep.
And that's really the precious. That's a gift. The minute we think we got it, we're dead. So, and I appreciate this little group, and I'm here for a little quietness. So thank you so much. Yes.
Thanks, Celia. Any other comments, questions? Jennifer, you've got this smile on your face the whole time. It's like you were there. Do you want to say anything?
I was there, thankfully, mercifully so. I was just feeling what I feel like I gleaned is the spaciousness around not being certain. That's not to imply that it feels uncertain. It's just to say that the spaciousness that comes with not being certain or feeling like I need to be certain is comes as a great respite and relief from what I formerly had known and believed. And if I might fold that into a retreat mode, that creates a kind of spaciousness to move and be and breathe and ground. Yeah, it was a real gift.
Yeah, the land and the trees and the ocean in that particular place hold us in a very gentle, spacious, motherly way, which is kind of like, that's why I kind of call it the Divine Mother, because the earth is our mother, and she holds us so well, and she takes all of our crap.
All right, friends, our time is coming to an end, and I really deeply appreciate this beautiful sacred circle of beings. And I hold you all in this loving presence, held in the arms of love, held in the arms of community, and held in the arms of all that is. I'll stay on. Lisa, do you want to say?
Just thank you for joining us today. It was really sweet to have you here and to see new faces and old faces, friends. And so thank you so much. Love sharing.
I'll invite us all to unmute and say thank you to Lisa, and I'll stay on for a moment if anybody.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Lisa.
Reverend Corey.
Yes, thanks, Carrie.